It is the Riot. This is our podcast. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Hello.
Heidi ho there.
Hey, I'm going to a Charlie's today. I'm going to get some chicken fingers.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Early dinner. Going to go do that. Like, I actually, you know what?
You getting pie?
I think, no. Would they stop?
Here
Oh, Charlie's, if you don't know what they are, they're this restaurant chain. I'm on their mailing list. And every day, 3 times a day, we're giving away free pie.
Well, I told him their pie must be frozen for months because, they can do that. And so I bet you they didn't sell enough pies at Christmas time or New Year's. So they've been trying to sell it through January now and February.
See, I think they're looking for a way to distinguish themselves.
And
that's not the word. Differentiate themselves from other places. Like, hey, if you come, we'll give you free pie. It's just like, I don't want any.
Now that reminds me, you need to look into it. So with DoorDash, I was seeing yesterday, Stouffer's?
Yeah,
the frozen food thing, like lasagna.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So they have a Stouffer's kitchen that's like a ghost kitchen here in our city, where you can order. They're making their lasagna and their mac and cheese and all their stuff in a ghost kitchen, and so you can get it DoorDash to you. So it's a Stouffer's restaurant.
So why don't I just go get it at the grocery store and turn my kitchen into a ghost kitchen?
I wonder if there's any difference.
You're just putting it in the oven for crying out loud.
I don't know if it has a taste difference or if there's something else. It's kind of similar to Marie Callender's. I don't know if those are still around, but they had restaurants, where all the Marie Callender stuff would eventually, come from. But it's kind of like that. Now they're making a ghost kitchen.
Well, I hope you're enjoying your ghost food.
Oh, Charlie's doesn't work out.
Right. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Okay.
And just in case you don't know what a ghost kitchen is, so many places now don't physically have a place where you would go in. So there's no walk up, curbside, dine in option. It's just a kitchen.
It's like
an
unmarked building that they're renting a kitchen space in.
Or they'll rent a kitchen from another restaurant. You just don't know that more than one restaurant's coming out of it.
Yeah, they're all in one place.
It's the thing to do.
So here we go, Nikki. Today in the podcast, we talk about your birthday.
Yeah, it's coming up next week.
We talk about Taco Bell, Godzilla, Hitler, Coke, bearding, marijuana. It's a weird podcast. I mean, when you start laying it out, it sounds a little weird.
It is weird when it's just all one after another, but that's what it is.
Well, it's not in that order.
It won't be so odd when you're hearing the stories behind it.
Hey, you know what? We're giving you some warning, so the weirder it gets, you're like, well, in fairness, they told me.
It's not our fault then at that point.
I knew it was coming.
We said that it'd be odd.
Yeah.
I know it got odd early on in the show when we talked about Taco Bell seasoning, and there's a moment where it just turned extreme.
What? No. It was the moment where it got real.
It got real.
It got real.
Oh, it's just been a day.
I'll just say that, this is the only, I think, I feel comfortable saying this, that this is the only podcast that you're going to download today in which someone compares Taco Bell's new kitchen seasoning to the Titanic.
And then when you get to the Hitler's toilet seat and then the dog, that's also another extreme moment of whiplash. So it's coming, all right? Be excited. Be ready. It's coming.
Listen, do you guys want truth? Do you guys want something real?
Oh, my gosh.
This is why we're not bigger than we should. We should be bigger than this.
We're not everywhere, right?
We should be everywhere. We should be huge. But it's moments like this that are holding us back.
I don't know. People like those moments the most, I think.
Well, you guys enjoy the podcast.
Make sure you say hi. Don't forget our Riot Valentine's Week is continuing for our merch at shop.radiou.com. If you ever want to check out what merch we have, you get free shipping on that through this Sunday on this weekend. And we'll send you some Valentines from us and some Valentine's candy. So consider supporting and getting some merch.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
You're basically listening to a real-time cringe compilation. This is The Riot on RadioU.
Now, look, there's a lot of effort this week. There's a lot of energy, a lot of discussion.
That's a good way to put it. A lot of energy.
Around Valentine's Day. Okay? What do we got? A few days left. It's coming up this Sunday. If you have somebody, it's like a job.
Don't tell them that. But
If you don't have somebody, you're like, I'd give anything to have somebody.
you wish you had the job, but
You're
it
just
is
like,
still that.
Well, I mean, actually, that's a good way of putting it. When you get a job, you complain about it. But when you don't have a job, you're desperate to get a job.
So this is exactly how it is for Valentine's Day.
Human nature, right? It is. And I'll tell you, we here at RadioU, we're adding to the noise. We're increasing the pressure a little bit because the Riot's having a Valentine's Day week.
We are for our Valentine's week. This one actually, no pressure at all, right? If you want to get some RadioU merch, we're adding to that by having free shipping on our RadioU merch through shop.radiou.com through this weekend. And you get some Valentine's candy with it and some hand-signed notes from Obie and myself.
I like to think of it as buying some notes from the Riot and you get a free piece of merch.
That is a good way to put it. And you some candy as well.
That's how I like to look at it.
Whichever is the most important part of it to you.
But in the middle of all of this, what I don't want to do is I don't want us to take away from the fact that next week is also Nikki's birthday.
It is.
It's the 19th.
It is.
It's a Friday.
It's a Friday. We'll end the week with it. That's good.
Hello. Come on. So I just want to get that out there.
We got a lot of good stuff coming. We got to get everything else accomplished so we can, get to that.
I want everybody to know, are we still going for wings?
I think so. I would like to. Does Friday change that for anybody? Or
let me put it to you this way. You tell me when and where. I'll be there.
Maybe we should do it a Thursday. So going into the wings, we can go into birthday.
That sounds great. However you want to do it.
We need to do it.
Yep. You just let me know and I'll be there. So, yes. But as we're putting all that energy and effort into Valentine's Day, I don't want you to forget that Nikki's birthday is coming up.
So the same work is also going to that.
You know what? That's not work, Nikki. That's just pleasure.
Is it?
That's joy.
It's still a job. It's still a holiday.
Isn't it all?
What you're about to hear will live on the internet forever. Sorry, internet. The worst of the Riot podcast.
Look, sometimes you like stuff and you can't explain it to other people, and other people don't understand why you like it. And that's where I find myself staring in right now onto something that other people like that I don't quite understand. There is so much money that gets spent on this every year. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, you mean like the Super Bowl? No, look, we're going way farther down a hole than that. But I'm talking about Train Simulator.
What is the train?
What do you think it is?
Is it a video game where you pretend like you're on a train?
Yep.
In different places?
Yeah, you drive the train.
Oh.
So like you're the conductor?
Yeah.
You're up front?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, huh? And so you purchase, and this is where it's amazing. If you go and look at how much money this stuff brings in, like you'll buy the base game and then you go and purchase the different trains that you want. So
like, is there mods and stuff you can buy?
So let's say that you want the Southwest Class 444.
You can buy that?
Then you pick that up.
Do you buy clothes for it?
No, Nikki, these are different trains.
Different trains, okay.
They're not your stupid Fortnite skins.
It's just something else.
It's ridiculous.
Well, I didn't know if that, crossed over into the train simulator world.
You want the Thompson Class B1 Loco?
All right.
Got it.
Got it.
Got it.
Well, I could totally see this, I guess.
Well, it's just funny to me how, what did I do? It was like 2-3 years ago. I got fascinated by and played Truck Simulator for a while.
Yeah.
And it's where you're just driving a big rig. You go in, you pick up your load. If you go too far, you might have to sleep overnight. All this stuff.
You get the accent when you play?
Dude, it was just this thing where I was like, I got to check this out. It's weird. And I had it was bizarrely kind of relaxing and fun and whatever. And so that seems reasonable to me, but I really look down on the train simulator people.
Why? I mean, the only worry I have with some of these things is that you're getting down these holes and these are just jobs. Like you could go and be a train conductor.
I know.
You could be a truck driver. So it's weird that people will enjoy spending a long amount of time on these games on something that could be their job if they really wanted.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. Could you be a conductor? What if, okay, Nikki, what if there are only
Is that door closed? Are you not allowed to anymore?
What if it is? Like, what if what you don't know is that you have to be born into it?
Only a few are chosen.
And it's a sacred society of conductors and not everyone can do it. And someone you have to go and grab the baton. And if the baton doesn't sort you, then you're stuck in the caboose.
If you don't get the conductor stick, you're not allowed to become one. Maybe. I don't think
Do
it's
you
like
know?
that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You don't
but
think it is, but you don't know.
I don't think it is.
You don't know?
Now, if you told me like, oh, well, we don't use conductors anymore, the train just runs itself. Like, I could totally see if the job is phased out that way.
Mm-hmm.
But people want to experience trains from around the world.
I'm just telling you that we don't know how it works. And maybe that's where this came from. A group of, disenchanted employees that didn't get to be conductors
who just
became
wanted
programmers.
That. Yeah.
And here it is. Well, it's in Humble Bundle this month. I'm not getting it.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I think it's the same,
And again, for $1, I could find out just what it's like.
You can jump in the same hole as like the roller coaster building things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those. So
there is.
There's many, many layers to that.
At the end of the day, and I'm not just saying this, if you like it, then it's worth it.
Absolutely.
And just because I don't understand it, oh man, how many things do I like that people don't get?
So we're not saying there's anything wrong with that. It's just another look into all the options there are for hobbies we have.
Yeah. Yeah. So, the train simulator crowd. Anybody? I'll tell you what. Text us 8772 RadioU.
Be honest.
No, I'm not going to hold my breath. I'm just going to
in case there's anybody
roll in when it comes in
to the station.
The Riot with Obadiah and Nikki on RadioU.
Just a heads up, though, we're not the only ones that are getting in on the Valentine's action. Nikki, I don't know if you saw the big announcement yesterday
from Godzilla,
but at Godzilla.com,
there's such a thing. Gotta go now.
You can go get yourself some Valentines. You can just print them out yourself.
Oh, that's cute.
Not available in stores.
Let's see. I didn't spell Godzilla right, so.
It's God, GODZILLA.com.
Very cute. Feel the rumble. All right.
So you can grab. Well, give it a second to load up.
No, feel the rumble like you can. The site will rumble if you want.
I guess. Let's see. Godzilla.
Cute. I love the pictures.
I don't see where you print them, but according to this press release, they're there. So
if you go down to news, you'll see.
Yep, there it is.
They're created for your kaiju crush.
I have a mecha big crush on you.
It's cute, actually. It's really cute.
Space Godzilla, you're out of this world.
I'm 3 heads over heels for you. Who's that?
That's King Ghidorah.
Okay.
And then Godzilla crashing my way into your heart.
I think these are great.
So, if you're looking for that little something, and you don't even have to print them.
You could just send them to someone.
You could just email them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cute.
Wow.
If you didn't already have because if you participate in our Valentine's week, we'll send you, I have Animal Crossing Valentines I'll be sending you, and Obi has these chicken nugget ones. I think Godzilla would have been a very strong second choice to the chicken nuggets.
Absolutely. If we had found these soon enough,
we could have just printed them out and then just cut them and then just send them out to you guys.
Yeah, they're nice, but they're not chicken McNugget, or excuse me, nugget.
Nuggets.
Not McNugget.
They're cute. So that's at Godzilla's website.
Godzilla.com.
It's God's website. He's all for Godzilla.
You know what I'm saying?
That website.
Yeah.
That's cool. I've never been to his website before.
If you want to know the truth, I think it might be my first time too. I'm pretty sure they just started that website up, and they also just started up a Godzilla YouTube channel.
Ooh.
Which I also have not looked at.
Is that a Funko Fair presents Godzilla versus Kong? So is there Funko Pops? Oh, I see them.
I'm sure that there are.
That's all in the news section. So if you really want the Godzilla Valentines, that's where you go.
Oh, yeah. Godzilla versus Kong. Man, just don't get into it. Don't start getting into Funkos if you haven't already.
You get into the movie, but for the Funko Pops, it's also a whole. We've been talking about a lot of things you can just get really into and start spending a lot of time and money on.
Next thing you know, you're putting out your Pops and you're playing Train Simulator.
Well, you send people your Godzilla Valentines.
There you go. Just start there.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So the last few days, I've really been struggling with being depressed. And you know what? It just kind of is what it is. Like, I've done it. You get to that point where you've done all you can do. I've exercised, sat in front of this stupid bright light.
Don't call it stupid.
It is stupid. I don't like it.
But this is a time of the year where it's especially hard.
Yeah, you know what? It's just, and I've done all the stuff I know to do, and that's kind of it. And it's funny. It starts to creep out in my words and language. I can notice, I don't know if other people do, but like there's certain phrases, words, things that start coming out. And so one of the things that I try to do being depressed is like, I don't want to drag down the people around me. And I know other depressed people feel this way. And so I try to put this filter on like, hey, Obadiah, your audience does not need a depressed, negative, ugly morning show host. You got to get in there. You got to fake it till you make it, baby. And then you got to go off and deal with people. And you're like, all right, these people don't need my whatever. It's like, I got to keep this filter on it all the time. And, then you've got other filters that you've got to apply. You got to make sure that, your humor is appropriate for the circumstance. You got to make sure that you're, it's on and on. Filter all the time.
Juggling throughout the day to keep it all
the time. And you're just trying really hard to, it's one of those things where I'm like, I just want to get home and get in my basement and then I can just whatever. Like, I can be a crazy person if I need to, just whatever. But it was funny this morning as I was getting ready, and I swear, it's almost like I'm programming for the day. God was there with me as I was getting ready. And so I started talking to God. I'm like, okay, God, thanks for this great day. And thanks for this. And, I could just feel Jesus literally being like, no. Look, you don't have to put on a show for me. Like, no show for me. You can be yourself. And so, you know what I did? I'm not this guy very often, but I was just in my closet. I just got down on my knees and I took a few minutes to just be myself. I didn't apologize for anything. I didn't try to get a hold of anything. I didn't try to whatever. I just sat there with God. And here's something else that's really great. Nikki and I live in a world where we're constantly looking for what is the next thing we're going to say. I got to come up with something. I got to come up with something to say. Got to come up with something to say. And I would just sat there and I was just quiet. I could just be quiet. God didn't need me to say anything. And he didn't need me to fake say something to make hide how you're really feeling. Hide it from me. No, I could just be myself. And isn't that amazing that a gift that God wants to give me and he wants to give you? God wants to let you be you with him. You don't have to go to God and pretend. You don't have to, in your prayers, be like, dear God, thanks for this food I hate. And thanks for the sun never comes out. And thanks, whatever. You can talk to God and be 100% honest with him about where you're at today. Or, and this is like awesome, you can just be quiet. You could do that too.
The Riot is well-versed on many different topics.
They're shy at first, but they're quite skilled at conversation.
This is The Riot on RadioU.
Listen, I think we can all agree that in reality, the people at Taco Bell do not have our best interest at heart. Is that
sure?
Am I wrong about that?
Well, when they took the potato stuff away, a lot of people really felt that way.
Yeah. I went to Taco Bell the other night. Some friends insisted. They insisted. We got to go to Taco. We have to go. I was like, all right, we're going to Taco Bell. And I was just like, Pepto before, eat the Taco Bell, Pepto after.
I don't even know.
And then just go to bed.
So at this point, have you ever actually gotten sick at Taco Bell? Because I haven't. And I know you tease about it, but like, have you ever, does the teasing come from a source of honesty or are you just teasing?
It's interesting.
Can you remember back that far? Did you ever actually get sick?
Can I remember back to yesterday?
Did you get sick?
Oh, yeah.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, you and it just don't agree.
And you think I'm kidding about the Pepto.
No, you really did?
Kidding.
Wow. Go prepared. You got your Taco Bell bag with all your medicine.
My prep bag.
Yeah.
I go in there with a backpack and you're like, all right, let's see. I got some heartburn stuff. I got some Pepto. I got some this.
So do you think it's just the taste of everything or is just something about it?
Oh, I don't think it tastes bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like when I'm eating it that somebody has opened a can of Alpo. It's like a wet dog food, but it's still good.
It's fine. You just really know how to sell it, don't you? Well, what are they doing?
Well, I'll tell you what they're doing. They're like, listen, we've noticed that there are days when you're not sick, days that you don't come to Taco Bell. So we have an answer for that. They are going to start selling their seasoning. So they'll have
their flavoring.
Right. So you'll be able to buy Taco Bell mild or Taco Bell hot. And in this photo, you can apply it to your tacos at home. It looks like in the picture, they're like, put it on your popcorn.
Actually, I bet you that could be pretty good. That's actually worth trying.
I could see it. I mean, I will tell you, one of the things I like to do at home with popcorn is I get a white cheddar salt because, I'm not dying fast enough.
I might as well make the smart, healthy popcorn and make it worse.
Go ahead and dump more on it. And so now they're just like, we're gonna send you to the stalls with your popcorn now.
Perfect. You can have it on everything.
Fantastic.
That's actually not a bad idea. If you like the taste of Taco Bell, a lot of people do. You can just add it to whatever you want.
A lot of people do.
Make some chicken at home, throw it on.
So let's see. They have this. You know what? Like this person in particular says they found it at Foodland, Phelps Market, and Meijer.
And then this also online.
Yes, or you can buy it online. So Nikki, wow, just think about it. You're like, I'm having pizza. Let's put some Taco Bell on there. Oh, okay.
She probably couldn't hurt.
It's probably pretty good.
It's probably pretty good on everything. This is not a bad idea.
Well,
it's not. It's just seasoning. What's it going to do? Famous last words.
It's like, it's just an iceberg. I'm sure the ship will be fine.
Okay, you take it all the way to the other side, don't you? It's seasoning.
We have watertight compartments. It's no big deal.
It's not the Titanic. It's seasoning.
You know what? You'll feel like everything's going down when you're just like, this is it.
You swear it's over.
Jack's in the water. Rose is on the thing. It's happening.
It's just a Taco Bell seasoning. If you get that sick from it, then you and Taco Bell are never meant to happen.
We're sinking.
When you start getting those cold shivers because you're so sick. We've all had that.
But man, that Locos Taco sure was good.
Riot Podcast, RadioU.
I want to be abundantly clear. I think that women are, in a lot of ways, just unfairly burdened in society. I mean, you guys, you girls, see, there it was.
What are you doing?
I'm the worst. But,
you already get a strike.
Yeah, I know. But you just, you do so much. Like, there are so many expectations. Like, you're supposed to do all these things, and also you're supposed to look like you walked off a runway, all this stuff. There's a lot of pressure. And I'm not going to take away from that. But I want you to know that there are also subtle pressures that men face in society today. And one of those pressures that I feel is that I'm supposed to be able to fix anything at any time and any moment and completely understand the way it works.
Understand it all.
So yesterday I was working on something, which my dad gave me a snowblower. Can I just tell you how embarrassed I am to tell you that I have a snowblower?
Why?
Because to me, that's what rich, lazy people have. That is the rich. I mean, you could tell me you had a yacht and it doesn't seem as lazy to me as a snowblower.
But they're pretty affordable.
No.
But it just feels that way.
To me, if you've got a snowblower, it's just like, oh, well, and a golden toilet, I assume.
Is shoveling too good? Are you too good for shoveling?
No, this is how you get fat and old. You get a snowblower. That's what's happening to you. You get out there and shovel.
Well, what's the problem? Did you use it or something?
Well, I finally, I haven't been able to get it to start. So yesterday I was like, okay, I'm going to take the time. I'm going to invest in it. I'm going to do some YouTubing.
To get it to work.
It'll eventually, this is a lot of upfront time, but it's going to pay off once I get it working because it's supposed to snow and snow and snow and snow. So I did all this stuff and man, I had to go to the store and get some parts. And so I tried really hard. Going into the parts store is like the place where they call your bluff because you can sometimes bluff with friends and family about, I know what I'm doing. I know what all these tools are called, the movie thing and the part that sticks on the thing. I know what they are. But then you have to go into the parts store, and that's where real men live and work. They are the ones. They are the ones that are living the masculine ideal. They know how to fix things. They know what's broken. They know where the parts are.
So there can be women there as well who know that just as much.
You know what? I'll just tell you, I had to make 2 trips to the parts store yesterday, and I don't want to deal in stereotypes, but the guy had to help the girl help me find the part I needed.
Oh, really?
totally happened.
Let's not share that part. Maybe she was new. She just didn't know.
I don't know. Maybe she just doesn't know a lot about snowblowers. Maybe like me, she grew up in abject poverty where we shoveled.
Where you shoveled everything.
And I get that. So he helped me find like the special spark plug and whatever. But you go in there and I mean, I hate going in there because they know. And
so it's
for some
intimidating
reason,
or what?
I don't know. Like I seem to have a hard time with proper nouns these days. So I got in there and one of the things I needed was a socket.
Yeah.
Because you like your car, it takes a 5/8 socket to get a spark plug out. But this snowblower needed what's one up from that? It was like 6/13 or something. I can't remember, but I needed the next size up. And I got in there and to save my life, couldn't remember what a socket was called. And I was just like, oh my gosh, it's happening. It's happening. I'm here. I'm supposed to be a man.
You're panicking.
I'm supposed to go in here and talk to these people and know what I need. I can't think of what the thing is called that fits on the thing. And you turn the thing and the other thing comes out.
Listen,
I can't remember what any of it's called.
You're putting way too much pressure on yourself going in there. It's supposed to be a fun experience.
Society is putting that pressure
Society
on me.
is?
It's not me, Nikki.
It's not you at all?
It is. It's the expectation that I'm supposed to know how things work and how to fix them. And so
I just want to see you go into those stores and start yelling. So let us know next time you're heading in.
I went in and I got the part. And the great thing is, and this is my favorite thing, is that I spent about 3 hours yesterday working on my symbol of North American wealth and privilege that I had in the garage there. And then I ended up just having to grab a shovel.
Oh, I'm still doing it that way? Going old school?
So I had 4 hours wrapped up in this thing. And
Now
at the end of it,
that's when you get frustrated.
you know what? I wasn't frustrated. I was just defeated. I was like, you know what? It's fine. You win, world. I'm not a man.
Actually, what would have been perfect
I'm not a man.
is while you were screaming that to the sky, it started snowing. Just like, here it is. Well, thanks to Matt for texting. He says, going to the parts store is the most humbling experience.
They always know.
Aww.
And the guy I dealt with yesterday, I'm not saying he wasn't kind, but I could tell that he was just like, you're not a man.
See, what I would have done is I would have just brought...
Sent Eric. You would have just sent Eric.
No, I would have brought the snowblower. I would have brought it in my car somehow. Got in there and say, hey, could you show me where the part is? But you just act a certain way to where they just then go and get frustrated at you because you're not going to obviously know how to fix it. And they'll just do it there for you.
No, I did it. I swapped out the
fixed?
spark plug. Yeah, I mean, it didn't work still. Oh. Now you ready for this? I'm going to have to take the carburetor apart.
Oh, gosh. Is it going to be worth it? You know, you can get them for like $100 or so.
No, Nikki. Society says I have to fix it.
That's still a lot of money, but it might be worth that instead of all the time you're spending.
Think about all the hours of work, sweat, and profanity that I have in front of me, and then maybe a sense of accomplishment after I get it fixed.
I think you're going to get madder.
In case you're wondering, yes, we do get complaints.
They have gone too far. This time, they are going to be held accountable.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Man, this is one of the craziest things you're going to hear all day. We've got a guy in Arkansas. He's 79 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He's been dumping dead animals on the grave of a guy that used to live near him.
Yeah.
That he didn't like very much.
Wow, he really holds some anger, doesn't he?
That's what I was thinking.
He's got to let that go.
His family's like, oh, you know what? He's having like mental problems, dementia,
like
whatever.
Age.
Okay. Now, you tell me, and I'm sure there's probably some technical explanation here, but the part that gets me about this is that he was dressing up as an old woman to take the dead animals.
Well, then he knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
Then you
That's
can't
what
say
I said.
that.
That's what I said. Like
the family's just using that as an excuse.
You can't tell me that this guy is dressing up as an old woman and taking these things over there and he doesn't know what he's doing.
He was spotted on camera sneaking into the cemetery in a gray wig, dark sunglasses, teal and white women's windbreaker jacket. And that's when he would leave the dead animals. So, he was absolutely knowing what he was doing.
Yeah. Come on.
So basically, they had lived next to each other.
Oh, it's so weird and gross.
Until the other guy died when he was 94 in 2015. And then the granddaughter said that those two never got along. Wow, he is really...
His family is like, oh, his friend liked animals, so he's taking him No.
Jeez. I want you to... And he really is dressing up. Like, there's pictures of it. There's pictures.
He totally is.
I want, if anybody ever tells you, like, oh, you need to let something go, you're harboring anger, I want you to pull this story up and say, no, this is not letting something go.
No. What you do is you take this and you're like, is this where you want to end up?
Well, you don't want to be doing this.
Is this where you want to go?
Forgive and forget.
The guy's dead. He's still at him.
Oh, my gosh.
He's still at him right now.
So, yeah, he said he was diagnosed with dementia. I told the court that he did it as a tribute because the neighbor enjoyed animals, but that's not the case. Was he killing the animals or just finding roadkill?
Don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
but
it's awful to look at.
I know this. It's on purpose.
Oh, it is.
He did this on purpose.
So they assumed some of the animals had died from poisoning after eating fake flowers left in the cemetery. So they removed the flowers in the cemetery because they just thought animals were just dying there. But that wasn't the case. It was him bringing them. So the family had set up a camera to see what was going on, why these animals were on his gravestone, and that's when they noticed the neighbor guy.
Yeah. Well, as Nikki said, we'll just throw it out there. Forgive, and even if you can't forget, just forgive. Get out.
Gosh,
because
I can't keep reading this story. It gets worse and worse.
I know.
Oh, who could do all that? Oh, no, thank you. All right.
Exactly.
Oh,
so
it's awful.
Just telling you.
And it's hard when I think the family, it's probably super hard just to be disappointed in Grandpa.
Sure.
Like, hey, Papa's doing this. Well, and you find out that he was doing it on purpose.
I'll tell you what, Nikki, I just want you to know that I forgive you.
I didn't do this to you. I won't do this to you.
I know. It's for all the other things you did.
Oh, my gosh.
So I'm not.
You had to wrap it up that way?
I'm not gonna do this. I forgive you.
So when I die, are you gonna put things on the grave?
Nope, I won't.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
I know that not everybody is in this position. I mean, a lot of classrooms are starting to open back up so you can go back to school in person, and offices are starting to open up. I've got a friend of mine who's been working remotely for almost a year.
Oh, they're going back?
And in March, they're going to start rotating days. So it'll be like 1 week you have 2 days in, then 3 days in, 2 days in, 3 days in, with the goal of eventually bringing everybody back, which...
I don't think people are maybe as excited for. Everybody got used to being at home.
Yeah, I don't know how people are feeling about it, but if you're working remotely, I got a chance for you to make a quick $6,000.
What can you do?
Well, in Mississippi, in Natchez, Natchez, in case you won't Google it, they are offering $6,000 if you are willing to move
to the area.
Yeah, and you work. It's like, hey, you work remotely, come work remotely from here.
Now, it's not just moving there. You must move there, buy a home, and
that's
be
worth
there.
Over $150,000.
So there's lots of qualifiers here. Well, you have to buy the home and remain there for at least 1 year.
They give you $2,500 and then $300 a month for a year.
Not bad. I mean, depending on where you're at, there are some places where you lived there because you worked there and you wanted to be close, but it was more expensive for you to be there compared to even sometimes 30 miles outside or, a 30-minute extra drive. The price of your living could have been so much cheaper. So I bet you in this town, it would be way more affordable if you could work there from home.
So they say they have 30 slots available, 30 people
to get the money,
the city up on this wonderful opportunity.
It's not the first time places have done this.
Yeah, so
they're just trying to get people to move to their area.
Let's see. Well, let's get a look at the weather. So, like right now, it's 52. They're gonna have a high of today, Wednesday.
Yeah.
All right, today they're calling for a high.
I'm having a hard time remember the days. Are they all blurring together?
Listen.
Is it just happening?
I'm trying to keep it together. I don't know what day it is. I don't know where I'm going.
All right. Well, what is it like there?
Well, like today it's 70, but they're expecting snow next week with a high of 33 on Monday.
So Natchez, Mississippi?
Yeah, you know what, though? I'll bet you during the summer, it's
it must be horrible.
It has got to be the worst place to live.
Well, you'll need the home.
Imagine.
To stay inside. They say the pandemic has been a wake-up call to people who've been feeling what people have been feeling for a long time. They're tired of big cities, the high cost of living, and long commutes. So now you can live in a historic small town where everything is convenient and affordable.
Okay, well, just putting the Google Maps in, here's what I got for you. It's right across it's on the Mississippi River.
Yeah.
So between, like on the other side is Louisiana. So there in the town, you got the Magnolia Bluffs Casino.
Oh.
The Natchez Country Club.
I would go there thinking it's the Magnolia Chip and Joanna thing. It's like, it's not. It's the casino.
You've got a Walmart Supercenter.
Yeah.
Hampton Inn and Suites. The Grand Village of the Natchez Indians.
Uh-huh.
And Longwood. Now, I don't know what that is, but it says it's a tourist attraction, and it shows up in Google Maps.
It's a small town. Pretty, though, but small.
And just so hot. Just know it's so hot.
They're not telling you, and that's why they're doing this promotion now, because it's the nicest weather probably they have the whole year.
It's like, man, you think like it's too hot.
Too much humidity. So there you go, Mississippi. You can get $6,000 to move there, but you do have to buy a home of a certain value. You have to stay there a year, but they'll give you a first one-time payment and then give you $300 a month.
Bottom line is, Nikki, we need to move to San Diego.
That's better. But then you're talking about the higher cost of living.
I know. I need them to give me a stipend to come and work remotely from San Diego.
They're not doing that because people want to go there. They're having a hard time in Mississippi getting people to come.
Yeah. How bad is it if they're like, hey, we'll pay you to live here?
The Riot Radio U.
I'm back on this Hitler's toilet seat thing.
So do you want to talk about that before the other job opportunity?
We will, but I was just thinking, like, it sounds like some kind of weird punishment, like whether you're actually... No, it's a wrestling move. It's Hitler's toilet seat. I had him in the figure 4 leg lock, and then I gave him the Hitler's toilet seat.
Don't even want to know. What's going on in your mind over there?
I don't know. It just feels like a euphemism, like not a real object. Like, man, I'll tell you what, I went to Taco Bell and Hitler's toilet seat, right?
But no, it's actually a toilet seat from, I think, the summer or a side home for him. And then a guy from the U.S. Army took the toilet seat when they got there. No, I thought he asked. I think he asked in the story.
What, he asked Hitler?
No, he asked his sergeant or something. Like he asked there, and they were taking things.
I'll tell you what it is. They technically, U.S. soldiers were not allowed to loot.
Mm-hmm.
They're not allowed to, and it was like a big deal.
Does this count as looting?
Yes,
it does. Even actually. The toilet seats.
It does. Yeah, I have a relative who fought in World War II who came home with katana that he took from a Japanese officer. That was not
what you're supposed to do.
Not okay. So that being said, Nikki, Hitler's toilet seat went up for auction.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, if we're lucky, we'll get $15,000 out of this thing.
So much for that.
$18,750.
I don't like that. I don't want to know who bought it. I don't want to know I don't understand people that collect the Hitler stuff. I don't understand. I don't. What's he going to do with this thing?
I imagine frame it and display it, right?
Well, what if he puts it on a toilet? Can you?
Isn't it funny to think like let's be a little crass about it.
Okay.
I don't want my butt to touch anything that Hitler's butt has touched.
You don't want to go into someone's house and you don't know that that's what they put and that's the guest bath.
I think that might be the weirdest sentence I've ever uttered in my entire life.
We've done the show for a while.
For a long time. But I don't think I've ever said anything that strange here on the show.
Did they say, did they shame and say who bought it or?
No, the name of the buyer, as far as I know,
they don't
isn't
say
public. Yeah.
Weird.
No. So, Ragnvald Borch was the guy.
What a hearty name.
That's awesome, right? He took the toilet. And there it is. So, hey, you know what? I hope you have you know what? Never mind. Just You won the auction.
So, Katie, is that true? Katie said her grandpa smuggled a Boston Terrier from Germany, like a dog. And then, that's so cute. It was there throughout her childhood. Is that true? You brought a dog from Germany?
Your grandpa got a Nazi dog?
Well, let's just call it a dog. It's not like the dog had a choice.
No, Nazi dog.
He wasn't doing any.
Well, you know what? The toilet seat didn't have a choice either. It was just being manufactured. It was hoping it would find a nice home. And then the next thing you know, one of the most notorious war criminals in history is sitting on it. It didn't have a choice.
It didn't have a choice, but the dog really didn't have a choice. It's just a dog. Never mind.
What?
Okay. All righty.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, MI6 is looking for some new secret agents.
Ooh. Wouldn't you have to be British? But
Well, okay. All right.
Are you so secret that you're not?
Well, check this out. So this won't apply to you and me, but you used to have to be born in the UK.
To be a part of that?
Right. So that meant like you couldn't even have been born in a different country. Like you had to be born in the homeland.
Sure.
Even if you were a British citizen. And now they're saying, nah, you know what? Like maybe you have dual citizenship. So like maybe you were born in the United States to British parents or something like that.
So
and you're a dual citizen. They're opening it up.
So it seems like they're not having enough people interested that met the early qualifiers.
That's not it.
So now they want more people?
That's not what they're saying, Nikki.
What are they saying?
Across the pond, they say they need to diversify.
Oh.
And so that's what they're going to do. They are now diversifying. Did you guys hear how long it took to go from mouse click to music?
They couldn't have heard that.
Did you guys hear the click? Because like I think I waited a whole 60 seconds.
I was like, I don't think it's playing. Your thing over there, it's all right.
Wait, I've got to go into the power settings and make this thing stop putting the drives to sleep. I have to. I mean, we've gone so far as to buy the computer, license the software, get the music, but we've got to save money on the electricity. We can't have the drive spinning.
It won't work.
Where were we? Oh, yes. If you have dual citizenship right now and you're living in a foreign country and you're like, I want to join MI6, which is their foreign intelligence service, they say they want to diversify. So you might be just what they're looking for.
So you could do that. So would that be like our FBI or?
No, the FBI handles domestic things. It would be like the CIA.
The CIA, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're not available and we don't qualify still yet. So no need.
Yeah. Well, but we could become British citizens. I mean, how hard is that probably?
That does seem like a lot of work, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh. Do you know who would be eligible for this? Meghan Markle.
Well, no, well, yeah, what does she have?
She became a British citizen.
Did she?
She could work for MI6.
Yeah, I don't think that's going well, so maybe they don't want that.
Perfect cover.
Perfect. So it seems like you hate the country. Perfect. We're making you a part of this.
Perfect. In fact, this could be part of a long con.
From the very beginning.
Yeah, this is like a deep state operation kind of thing where, she's been the whole time.
Well, based on every spy sort of MI6 show, movie, I don't know if we have what it takes to join, stay alive, not get caught, not tell all of our secrets. I don't know if we could.
I think you and I, they could find a role for us.
Again, I think even if our military, that stuff, I always think they'd put us in the communications department at home.
Well, see, I'm not very good at details.
I do, but then I'll do the details and you're with me and we explain everything to everybody like on their radio thing.
Okay.
Like there'd be a MI6 podcast for only MI6 people.
Right.
And we're the ones hosting it. And we bring you a day-to-day look at what life is like in the MI6.
Today on the MI6 podcast, how to deal with family members that won't stop calling you 007.
And for those that you can't tell, you're a part of this organization. We can do all that.
How to deal with the shame of pretending to be one thing while you're something else.
Well, you're really a super cool spy.
You're awesome, guys. Just remember, you're awesome.
But if you meet that now and you've always wanted to join MI6, they're They have openings.
They've got, you know what, Nikki? We just got to get you some fake British papers and you're going to be ready to go.
The Riot. Not everyone's a fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
RadioU.
Coke is launching a new bottle size.
Oh, they are? Mm-hmm. So what is this? Is this bigger or less?
13.2 ounces, which would be just slightly more than you'd get in a can.
So why are they doing that?
Because a can is 12 ounces. I don't know.
It looks... Do we need this? What's the point? Why are they saying we need this?
Well, okay. They say Coke... Man, all right. They're saying that this is a 100% recycled plastic bottle.
Well, that's good.
So that means that everything in this bottle, hopefully not the Coke, has been recycled.
So this is a part of Coke's move to the initiative to reduce its plastic waste.
And so they say that this is them saying like, hey, look, you can get soda in a sustainable bottle. And they're hoping to attract people that have been turned off by the disposable nature of plastics and cans.
They're not in our world. No one we know. We're real soda drinkers. So when you're a real soda drinker, you're not thinking about that part.
I know.
Maybe coffee drinkers, but not soda.
Just reading this little thing, I was like, I am a terrible person.
Because you don't even think about that?
Because you know what I never think about or even remotely care about is how many plastic bottles I'm throwing away. Well, they go in the recycling thing at home.
That's true, but we also don't get bottles a lot. You go to the Freestyle or the machine and get a fountain drink.
Yeah, and put it in a styrofoam cup. Oh, God. Oh, gosh.
It's even worse.
Oh, gosh.
But that's how the Polar Cups come. So what are we supposed to do?
What am I supposed to do? Polar Pops are 79 cents.
So Coca-Cola is saying, hey, we're trying to hit under 25 drinkers who want a sustainable package and want the new size. They think that'll attract us.
The new size?
Yeah, the new size.
What? Hey, look, slightly bigger than a can, but way smaller than the 20 ounce you're used to.
I know, but they think that's what their research has shown them. The new bottle is available now in select states across the Northeast, New York, Connecticut, California, Florida. It'll be launching nationwide this summer. They say it's a more sippable package.
What's that mean? I know what it means, but what does that mean?
To them?
It's more sippable.
They say it's not as much to carry, to drink. It's just you can sip it and it's not too much for people in our delicate sensibilities.
You're talking to a guy that if they had it available, I would get the 64-ounce one.
We'd get more.
I know. They're like...
Again, we're not the target with this.
We're not.
We're not the target at all.
I'm so out of touch. They're like, it's more portable. So is this.
I can make it work. I'll hold it if it doesn't fit in the cup holder.
I designed this backpack so I'm able to carry...
More soda. So this will come with the most popular stuff from Coca-Cola. So Coke, Diet Coke, Coke Zero, and it'll be about $1.59.
Well, good for them. That's wonderful.
So in case you were looking for something more sippable and more recyclable, this is it.
Do you like it? I just wish it were more sippable. You're not going to believe this.
We got something coming. If we were a part of the focus group, you're like, well, what can we do that's bigger? I want to feel overwhelmed.
You're like, wait, a new bottle size? Do you mean a 3-liter?
Is that possible?
This is the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Listen, if Nikki and I have been able to teach you anything across the years, I hope that you remember that anytime you try to hire a hitman or woman online, it's the cops.
It's a setup.
Yeah. So, I know that there's some people that you'd like to see, knocked off, out of the way, things of that nature. But anytime you're doing that... It's just like, it's not happening,
It just seems like we read enough stories about people who get caught, but there must be so many more of people that don't get caught. Like, there must be this whole world of this.
It must be. Or it doesn't really exist, and it really just exists in movies. That's what I feel like. People
I think we could be confused.
Like, yeah, man, I watch it on movies all the time. You just hire somebody, they knock them off. And they make it look like an accident.
Maybe there's more meetings about killing people, but then they don't progress into something.
I don't know.
Or it doesn't work out. I'm not sure.
I just want you to know that there are people in my life that I'd be happy if they weren't in my life, but I don't want to kill them. Like, I don't have anybody in my life I currently want to kill.
How about moving away? But that's it. That seems more reasonable.
Why don't you take down that stupid fence? Or, I don't want him dead.
I know, but some people get that mad.
You get that far. Well, Kelly Harper is one of those people. And in Columbus, Wisconsin, she'd been on the dark web. And she found a place where she wanted to have she's like, hey, I want to have this person killed. Here's the info.
When we hear these stories, I'm fascinated because the price, it's never as much as you think it would be.
Well, she paid $5,600 in Bitcoin. So
really?
That's,
Oh, well, that's how modern of you.
Wow, yeah.
First Tesla, you can buy a Tesla now with Bitcoin, and you can hire someone.
You can hire an assassin with Bitcoin.
Normally we hear, maybe it's more because it's Bitcoin, but normally here it's like $1,200 to $1,500, but not this much.
Yeah. What's fascinating about this, though, is, well, I guess there's a lot of angles. It is interesting to think that she wanted to have her ex-boyfriend killed. We've all been there, kind of, not really. But here's the hook to this story that I think is amazing. How this all went down is that we don't know the intended victims.
Sure.
But the ex-boyfriend and his new girlfriend, they found out that someone was trying to hire someone to kill them because local media in Columbus, Wisconsin, I don't know why they knew this, but they found it on this site and contacted them. And they're like, hey, did you know that someone's trying to kill you? And they were like,
their info
oh my
was on that.
gosh.
And then they found out it was the lady. It was
and
the
so
ex-girlfriend.
They called the police, and then the police got involved.
Weird.
I know.
Very weird. Guys, you're always going to get caught, so let's not.
Yeah. Nikki,
let's not do that. And keep a hold of your Bitcoin. It's still doing so well.
Yeah, it's still going up.
Just don't like the person. Heal from that and keep your Bitcoin.
You know, that $5,000 I was going to use to kill my ex-boyfriend, I let it sit for a while. Now I'm a millionaire, and I've got lots of boyfriends.
Because remember, sometimes the biggest revenge is just living a better life.
Just living well.
Mm-hmm. They'll be jealous.
The problem with that is, though, is like sometimes they're not watching you live well, and you've got to get them watching you live well.
Every ex-person looks back at others, so I'm sure they would notice how well you're doing.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, when you make headlines as a Bitcoin millionaire.
But now you're the person who was using Bitcoin to hire someone to try to kill them.
Yeah. We got to get on this dark web, Nikki. You think everybody's got to hit out on us?
No, I doubt it.
Probably not worth, the effort.
The effort. That would be it. I only worry when you guys are like, I want you for myself at home. That's the only thing we have to worry about.
Like misery.
Will you do the show for me at home every day?
You can download our podcast. It's available everywhere.
No.
We even take requests.
But you don't have to take us.
The Riot. Just because it's bad doesn't mean it's not good. Wait, isn't that exactly what it means? It's The Riot on RadioU.
2023, Nikki. Mm-hmm. It's a year.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll be over all this pandemic stuff by then, probably.
Just no one say that. Don't say that. That opens up for things to still happen.
I'm sure it'll be fine by then. I'll just go and start making plans for then.
Maybe we'll all plan a vacation then, won't we?
Well, what if I told you that you could spend 180 days cruising around the world?
Is that the cruise ship thing?
Yeah.
That's sold out?
Sold out.
Everybody wants to go on this boat.
Doesn't that sound great? 180 days, the longest vacation of your life. It's half a year.
So you go on this cruise ship, you live on it for half a year. It's so expensive, and there's other cruise ships like this.
Yeah.
There's even ones you can live on for like a year. Like that's where you're living at. But then you get to travel to all these different places. But it's not until 2023 and it is sold out.
So it will, depending on where you embark and disembark, the cruise can be anywhere from 180 to 218 days. Mm-hmm. It departs December 28th of 2022 from Miami, and then it docks. Well, no, okay, these are just different places. It goes to 96 ports, 33 countries, 3 full days cruising in Antarctica.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
It does. Prices ranged between $41,000 and $49,000.
That's a lot.
Wow. But
I mean, like you'd have to sell like your like your house or not be at an apartment anymore. You're going to have to store your stuff while you're on this boat.
You know what? If you had, like, maybe for us to make that work, but there are people in the world that would just be like, you know what, I'm just going to do this.
And then you switch to another one.
I got to take some time to just like figure out my life.
It felt like the perfect thing if you just needed to unplug and actually stop and get a break. So it's the Oceania's 180-day around the world cruise. Every ticket for the cruise was sold on its first day. These went on sale on January 27th, and they all were sold. A third of the tickets were purchased by cruise passengers who had not booked a trip with Oceania before. So they were brand new to their cruise line.
This seems to me like it would be the perfect way to, like, let's say you wanted to write a book. Like, you just go. Someone is fixing all your meals. Like, your agenda is set. And so you can go out on the deck, you could stay in your room, you could whatever, and you just write all day. You don't have all of the little things that take up so much of your mental capacity, which, it's a lot.
It's all gone.
Driving, food prep, just the basic business of life would be removed. And you'd constantly be getting new sensory input.
You could do a blog or make this like your Instagram, and that could be your whole thing for 6 months, your whole content.
That sounds awesome.
That sounds neat. And I think, we're all a little tired of all this stuff, and it's been a lot for everybody. And I think this was probably very attractive to people. You could go, even say things aren't still working right by then. You could get on this ship and you can still enjoy yourself and take a break from everything else.
I think it sounds amazing. Like, I would be, if I could afford it, I'm like, yeah, let's
I know
go.
that is expensive. But if you weren't paying rent, or I don't know, if you didn't have other bills and stuff from here on land, maybe you can afford it.
Even if I took what I pay for housing, nope.
No, still not
enough.
Never mind.
Still not enough.
I would love to see an age group of like who actually booked these tickets, because to me it looks like retired, like older people.
Sure.
But I wonder if anybody younger. What if you were like the only young person on the boat?
Oh, well. Just
less noise then, even more.
Ain't no thing.
Worst of the riot. RadioU.
This beard is driving me crazy.
Why?
I don't know.
Don't let this be the update today. We want positive beard updates.
Nikki, listen, if you want to go on the journey,
you got to be here for the whole thing, right?
You got to be there for the whole journey.
So what part is bugging you?
I don't know. Just like right here, it's just...
But you put your beard oil on.
I did. I got my beard oil here straight from Merrill, Michigan.
What if we do this? Now, I'm not saying for many days, but maybe on the tough days, can you take a Tylenol or something? Stop it. I mean, it is. Will it like lessen it? Or because you just have a few days you got to push through to get your beard growing the whole way. So maybe an Advil or something.
I'm going to need a cup holder and a couple of Advil.
Just a couple of Advil. Maybe that'll take the edge off.
I don't know.
Don't be afraid.
I don't know.
Again, not a habit amount or anything. It's just something.
I'll tell you, yesterday, as I was out shoveling, the beard was helpful. It really
keeps you warmer?
It honestly to goodness kept my face warmer. I noticed a difference.
That's funny.
It is. It also catches your sweat.
Oh, so then does that make it itch or?
I don't know. I don't know, but I was like, I got some full-on beard water here.
Maybe that's why it's extra itchy today.
Maybe.
It's not used to all that. It's dry.
So after I did all of that, because I went to listen, let me just humble brag here. I went to the gym and then I shoveled, so I'm super strong now.
You had 2 workouts yesterday?
So I went ahead and took a shower afterwards, and then I applied some oil to my whole body.
You mean
I like to glisten.
Okay, now it's just awkward.
But, trying to stave off the itch. But
put more on. You might need another layer.
I think today's a double dosage.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It just means you were extra dry. It's extra thirsty.
I want a double anointing, Nikki, of the oil.
You want a hanky?
Come on.
Let the itch just leave. Leave.
It's gone. Oh, my gosh. All right, well.
We'll put more on.
I just wanted to let you know
that's what the beard's going on.
It's not all roses. And I'm not I think the beard makes me look more masculine. And I feel like I've spent most of my life just looking like a chubby little boy. So I feel like the beard hides some of that. But I don't know.
Everybody likes the look of the beard.
I know.
They do like it. You just got to keep powering through. No one said it was going to be easy.
Yeah, I know.
Don't itch it. Don't itch it. He's itching it. Don't touch it.
I can't help it.
Just put more oil on it. It's fine.
It puts the oil on its skin.
Just put more oil on it and seriously check out the Tylenol if needed. All right?
It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
So I'm going to call it controversial. It's a controversial study that has come out of the University of Queensland's National Centre for Substance Use Research. And this is, of course, in Australia. Dr. Gary Chan, the lead author on this study. And what they have done is they say, a deep dive on teens and adults that use marijuana frequently.
Really?
Yeah. Because one of the biggest arguments that you'll find is that, hey, all this stuff that you've been told about marijuana is not true. You know, it's not it's not addictive. It's not going to make you lazy, et cetera, et cetera. But here's what they came out of in their research study. They say that they were comparing people who were using regularly as a teenager and then to like how they aged up, and then people who didn't use aged up. And here's what they found, that if you were smoking marijuana or however you were ingesting it as an adolescent, you were 20 times more likely to be using other drugs as an adult. 20 times
more. They say you could be using other drugs and at times be high risk for alcohol abuse.
You were 3.7 times more likely to be a high-risk alcohol drinker, meaning that you were either on your way to being an alcoholic or you were just drinking a lot, binge drinking, things like that. Say you're also 7 times more likely to smoke cigarettes.
Those are high numbers there.
And 50% less likely to be in a relationship.
Oh, really?
Yes. Now, they say that it's even worse if you start as an adult. So let's say that you start smoking weed as an adult instead of an adolescent. You are 36 times more likely to start using other illegal drugs, and you are 3 times more likely to be a heavy drinker. So it's just interesting because, and the reason I say it's controversial is a lot of people that I'm seeing that are very much in the pro-marijuana camp are like, this study can't be trusted. It's not true. They're trying to push their agenda, et cetera, et cetera. These guys, and they're coming out and saying, hey, our research shows marijuana is not harmless and you shouldn't use it. And a lot of people don't like that. So there's a large blowback to it online.
Sure.
That's the data that they've compiled.
Sometimes you have to just say, if you're not into it yet, sometimes you might just have to say, just in case you happen to be one of those people, because we all are affected by certain vices in different ways. But what if there's a chance that you are one of the people then that would have other issues? And if you don't start, or if you stop early enough, then you don't have the drinking, and then you don't have the other stuff. And then that leads to no good later on. It might just be worth not, just in case.
Yeah. The old adage of like, you don't have to stop something you didn't start.
Yeah. It's so much more easier when you don't start in the first place.
Yeah. And what Nikki's talking about, I heard someone say something very similar where they were like, hey, listen, okay, let's say that, 5 out of 10 people don't develop an addiction to this thing. The only way you'll know which one of the 5 you are is by starting.
And when you already have the addiction, then you're too late in.
Then it's too late.
Yeah.
So why roll the dice? That, I'll just tell you, that's been something that's kept me from doing a lot of things where I was like, oh, this one time's probably not a big deal. Oh, gosh, but what if
I know too many people that have then changed their lives completely, and they didn't think that that's where their life was going to go. In the very beginning, it was just all fun and games, and then it gets to be too much.
Yeah, well, that story is out there. That research is done. Like I said, there's a lot of pushback from some people on that. But you know what? Instead of just listening to the drama, why don't you just do the Googling, find the research, and read it for yourself?
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
I didn't have time. There was no sausage time.